This is the Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. If you're like me, you'll recognize this as one of the most beloved games on the Super Nintendo, and it just so happens to be one of my absolute favorites in the franchise. Not only that, but it still has the box. If you get a little closer, you might notice some wear and tear. A lot of wear and tear. To the point where you maybe consider this might not really be worth hanging on to. And when I pulled this out of a box after years, I had that same thought. I have that collector gene in me, and I want my collection to be as pristine as possible. I love the game, but shouldn't I just get rid of this ugly box? And then I opened it. Memories of exploring Hyrule hit me. The game, the manual, hint book, the map, all similarly worn to a pulp. Not because it was thrown around and neglected, but because they had been taken on an adventure. When I was 7 or 8, we were helping my grandpa downsize from a house into an apartment. It was a huge deal and took days with all the adults figuring out what to keep and what to get rid of. I was little to no help in remembering messing around with a wheelchair that I found in the garage. One of the afternoons when we were there, someone had found a box of Super Nintendo games. I think my grandpa had held on to some. On the off chance any of the grandkids came over, we would have something to do to keep us busy. Because he was downsizing, I guess it didn't make much sense for him to keep, so he gave me, you guessed it, this copy of A Link to the Past. The Super Nintendo was my first console, and I loved everything about it. So when I was randomly handed a new game, even one I wasn't familiar with, I was ecstatic. I'll never forget opening it for the first time, because it wasn't just a game. There was a map. I had never seen a map included with a game before. With descriptions of locations, artwork, tips. It's rare when a game nowadays comes with anything other than a disc, let alone something like a map. And even if they do, I don't think there's ever been one as useful as this. This thing wasn't just meant to look pretty on your wall. It was meant to be used. There was also a sealed book of secrets. The fact that it was sealed with a sticker and had this warning made it seem to 7 or 8-year-old me like it was some kind of monkey's paw. Opening it felt like cheating somehow, so I actually didn't open it for quite some time. It read, "This booklet contains the answers to some of the toughest puzzles that you will encounter during your quest as the legendary hero of Hyrule. You should consult this booklet only as a last resort. At first, you should always trust in your potential to be the legendary hero and try to solve the game on your own." I also pored over the manual. It didn't just have the button layout, but it was a tome thick with item descriptions, the lore of Hyrule, images of gods and monsters. It was a necessary guide to this new world that I was about to explore. At the time, it didn't just feel like I was given a video game. It felt like I was given an adventuring kit. When we got home that day, I don't think I had ever rushed the Super Nintendo faster. Up until now, I was playing games like Super Mario World and Donkey Kong Country. Games to me up to this point were go left to right, rescue princess, rescue bananas. A Link to the Past was cinematic. For the first time, I could explore, go where I wanted. This was the first narrative-driven game I had ever played. Opening on a stormy night, chasing after your uncle only to find him in his final moments, taking up his sword to finish the quest that he set out to complete but couldn't. Every time I played the game, these were out. The A Link to the Past box was more than just a regular game. It was an experience with items that bled into real life, and something I wish more physical game releases emulated. That's why I'll never replace this box. Every crease, stain, and bend is a reminder of not only an adventure I'll never forget, but of my late grandpa just hoping that I would have fun.